Honey. So Judd Trump safely through to tomorrow's final to play either Stuart Bingham or Robert Milkins. They start their second semi-final. 6:45, we're back on air for a 7 o'clock start here on Eurosport 2. Bingham and Milkins again, of course, first to 6 to join us this evening for the second semi-final. Colin Murray back on the sofa for that one. And we'll hopefully get Judd up for a chat shortly when he's finished with the formalities downstairs. Meanwhile, Jimmy and Ronnie watching on. I don't know whether it was ever exactly in doubt that maybe at 4-3 there was a sniff of something, Jimmy, but always felt like Judd was in control.
I'm pleased that Scott Donaldson, made a fight of it. It just shows that he's going to be around for a long, long time. He's got a nice game, but Trump, he always seemed to have too much for him, and at 3-0, if it had gone 4-0, it would have been all over. He made it 3-1, and as I say, at 4-3, he was a little bit scared, but he just stepped on the gas again and got home safely.
Yeah, we were willing him on because we wanted a close match, and he showed enough, didn't he, Scott, to suggest that there's growth?
Yeah, I think you've got to look at his age. He's 22. I thought he was 28. He seems like he's been around a while, and he's got to the semi-finals this tournament. He showed what he can do. I think he's acquitted himself fantastically well, because when you go behind and you come back into a match, it's very hard to keep it going, especially against someone like Trump, who you're constantly under pressure. So we can't blame him for losing in the last 2 frames. You have to give Judd a lot of credit, because he's a difficult opponent to play. But I think he's got to reflect on this week and go, you know what, he's made that breakthrough now. And I think, with the type of character he's got and the love for the game, he'll just dedicate his whole life to it now, and he's got age on his side, Jim, and I just think, with that age, and when you look around at all the other best 22-year-olds, he's up there in the top 4 or 5, I think, in the world. And it's more of a long-term plan for him, really.
Yeah, and he's got a good tactical game as well, so if he can start scoring a bit more heavily, he'd be tough to beat, because he will get chances, because he'll create chances, because no one can pop him from the bottom cushion all the time.
No, and he's a different type of player to Judd, but I wonder whether there's a little bit of perhaps where Judd and other players used to be when they were that age. With age comes maturity. Yeah,
but Judd doesn't go for as many shots as he used to, and the ones he does go for now, they are a lot of value. Before he'd be going for shots, you plan him, and you think, well, I hope he goes for this one, because there's absolutely no value. If he misses it, he leaves everything on. But he's sort of calmed that down a bit. He's a lot more consistent, but he's got such confidence in his potting ability that he does really fancy potting anything. And if you're playing him and he's playing well, that's a terrifying feeling, because you've got to really shots like that, he's just got so much in his armoury.
Yeah. Well, Neil Foulds mentioned earlier, it wasn't just the red, but it was the yellow that followed it with the flicked red to keep the break going.
Yeah, I mean, I've practiced with Judd a lot, and he's got a fantastic snooker brain, do you know what I mean? He sees the shot quick and early, and, he can make chances out of nothing, and
is that developed, or is that something you just
that's something you're born with, like he won the under-15, British under-15s when he was 10, and you have to be a bit special to do stuff like that, he's a young kid beating men, top amateurs, so he's just got that natural talent, and but sometimes natural talent is not enough, and I think Judd's learnt over the last 4 or 5 years that he's got to have a backup game sometimes, and he's done that this week, and he probably wouldn't have made the final with this when he first breaking through. He's learned to graft it out, and he's much more all-round player now.
Yeah, and maybe that little bit of luck we talked about, that yellow that might have gone in for Barry Hawkins. Who knows? Who knows whether it's a different story if that drops? Maybe he's not still here to win a title, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. But Ronnie says, there's so many tournaments all the time, and you make your own luck, and he's just got to go through now and hopefully win this tournament, because he is playing better than anyone in the competition.
Well, got better as well. I think 88% he ended up with on his pot success, and is a good front runner now, isn't he? I don't know if that's perhaps always been the case with him, and perhaps hasn't generally lacked for confidence as a potter, certainly, but as a break builder and a match player now, he looks like starting to become an all-rounder.
Yeah, I think he's comfortable in front and he's comfortable from behind. I think he just plays... He's a confidence-type player, so if he's feeling good, the scoreline doesn't really come into it. I think he just wants to get to the table, he just wants to pounce and, make big breaks. And I sometimes think the scoreline's irrelevant to players like Judd. They just play, it's just they're buzzing from playing exciting snooker.
Yeah. And, of course, there's a second semi-final. We'll see who emerges from that to play Judd tomorrow, but do you, regardless of that, because of the way the week's gone, and perhaps it's just do you make him
Bingham last night in his first 4 frames was superb. He was brilliant last night, and it's the best he said he'd cued all season. And then the second session, he wasn't so good. Carrington come back at him, and he started to miss a few balls. I just think Trump's got more consistency now, and the long pots are going in, and he's scoring heavy, and that is a recipe to win.
Good time for him to join us. Just getting the big compliments from Jimmy. He's talking about Stuart Bingham, but it might as well have been talking about you. Did you enjoy that?
Not really, no.
No?
I think
You're worse than me. You're worse than me for when you come in and winning.
It was a bit of a struggle in the end. He put me under a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
I could see at one point I started to miss a few, and I could see him start to like speed up, and he was getting confident out there, and that's the worst thing you kind of see. Especially he's so young. He obviously doesn't have much fear. So if a player ever gets like that, it's time to really like try and finish the match off. And I made a good break to go 5-3, and then obviously he missed and one visit again in the last. So it was kind of up and down. I felt okay, but just obviously a bit careless at some points.
Do you see a bit of the person you used to be now in younger players like Scott, who have that kind of, well, bring it on attitude?
Kind of, yeah. I
Not
kind
that you're old, but you know what I mean. You've been around.
Yeah, certain shots I can kind of see the kind of lack of experience, and I kind of see I used to be like playing those kind of shots a little bit careless. So as long as I sort of mind my work against the players, I should really win. But obviously, it brings a complete different type of pressure when you play someone like that. You just expect it to win, and when he comes back at you, you're just there like, oh my God, please don't go 5-all. So.
Well, we talked pre-match about whether, if he had a chance, it might be in the safety play, but actually, over the piece, you probably emerged top dog in that, which is pleasing.
Yeah, he was quite a good safety player, to be fair to him. He's only young, and in the middle part of the match, he kind of made a few little mistakes and was kind of just getting away with it, and I felt like the run was kind of gone a bit the other way, and it went a bit close. I started to rattle a few balls, so I won in the end, but obviously I was a little bit disappointed with the performance, but into the final, and yeah, a great experience.
How'd you find the table? You think the table's playing better than it was?
Yeah, much better today. I think not quite as reactive as I thought it would be, but it is still a good lot better than yesterday.
Good.
What are you going to do now between now and the final? Because obviously you live quite nearby, don't you? You're going to go home or are you going to stay at there?
No, I'll stay at the hotel,
Yeah.
just get some food. I've got a few friends up in family, so go have some food with them. Nice to see them for the first time in about 6 months. So,
and how was that having them here today? Because that, I mean, obviously often isn't possible, but to watch, having obviously supported you the whole way, that's a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. I don't really get to see them that much. Recently, when I've been losing, I've sort of been trying to get on the practice table the next day and try and put the work in. And this kind of, obviously, you have to sacrifice seeing your family and going out and seeing your friends as much. So it's paid off, it looks like. So obviously, it was good for me to do that.
And are they free to come along tomorrow? Are they available to support you tomorrow, the family?
I hope so. Yeah, they'll be here. So it'd be great because I haven't really won many tournaments in sort of Great Britain. It's all been kind of abroad for me, apart from the UK Championship was kind of the only one, the Grand Prix. But other than that, it's kind of been away from home. So to win this in kind of sort of my home tournament would be good.
Yeah. And a bit like the fella next to you, there's an increasing use of the other hand from you, isn't there? Quite a few people have been in touch to say, is that something you've been working on? Is that a new weapon? I know you've done it before, but are you more comfortable than ever right-handed when needs be?
I don't really practice with that. It's kind of, as I get better with my other hand, with my left hand, it kind of just carries on with your right hand. You kind of just get better as you go along. So I could probably, if I practice with it, I could play to a good standard, but I started to miss with the rest, so I kind of just thought I'd just play on my other hand and see what happens.
I mean, I was watching you like in the academy practicing that, and just noticed here. Have you sort of shortened your backswing just a little bit in the balls?
Yeah, I've tried to. I've tried to make it a lot shorter because I kind of decelerate through the ball sometimes, and especially I put a lot of side on.
Yeah.
And it's kind of affected my long game. I need to sort of compromise because I haven't got much power now in my long game. I think it's a little bit too short trying to screw back and stuff.
Him saying he's got no power is like, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, all over.
Compared to who?
It's just...
Compared to...
I feel a little like
We haven't
Marco
met him
now.
yet.
I feel a bit like Marco when I'm trying to screw back my long shots because it used to come so easy. I used to just like pull it back so far and just smash it, and it used to fly back. But now it's kind of just stopping halfway at the table.
But in some ways, do you think it's better for you to be able to sort of like be more compact and more in the ball, scoring heavy, and maybe, you know, because sometimes you have to give up maybe Q Power to have more control in the balls. Do you think that's better for your game now, rather than sort of like hammering in long ones? Think, well, maybe I might only get 7 out of 10, which is still a great thing, but I'm going to be making more 70s and 80s and killing the frame off. Do you think that's something?
I think, yeah, my scoring in the balls, my position still, it's getting better. It was, obviously it was never that good, but now it's getting better. A bit of work on that, but I just feel like I don't miss balls that I used to miss. And there was one type of shot that I'd always missed, like quite high on the black. I decelerate and hit it thin all the time, and I don't ever do that anymore. So it's kind of eradicated that out of my game, and it just feels so much better in the balls. I feel like I can really nip the ball off a little bit better rather than sort of decelerate through the ball.
Yeah, well, those are small headaches compared to Jimmy's. Let me tell you, you won't be aware of this, but whilst you were having a rest in the midsection, Jimmy was giving us a bit of an example with the rest. And as you'll see...
See, I'm standing on. If I... Look.
Just as he's getting ready, the light falls on him. Now,
see how carried on, what a pro.
I don't think it's the production team getting their own back, is it, Jim? I think it was a genuine accident.
Absolutely, yeah, no, I'm not suing anybody. Everyone's all right.
We've massaged him both mentally and physically, and he seems to be. OK, are you bothered who you play tomorrow?
No. Not really. Obviously, probably be easier playing Rob, I'd say. He's never really been there, but I think it's going to be a close one tonight. I think the way Stuart played, I think he's going to be a bit nervy tonight. He'll want to get through that, I think, and I think Rob might nick that one and get through to his first final, yeah. Okay.
Well, enjoy the evening with the family. Well played, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Well done, Judd, and of course, thanks to Jim and to Ronnie. So just a reminder then, we are back with more. Well, Colin is back with the gang at 6:45 for tonight's second semi-final. Stuart Bingham and Robert Milkins, again, of course, best of 11 for the right to play Judd in tomorrow's Coral Welsh final. Judd safely through. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later.